name is Jack Cotton, luxury real estate expert, author, and agent. I'm here inside my beautiful, luxurious, but not overly ostentatious Cape Cod office, and we're talking about sphere of influence. It's all part of our success strategy. You know, how do we reach our own definition of success? We talked about, you know, all the sphere of influence, mistakes, some different ideas. Today we're going to talk about some dialogues, because a lot of people put off talking to people in their sphere because they don't know what to say. I've got another whole thing about what to say when there's nothing to say when we're talking about our own sellers, but what do we say? Well, here's some ideas of things you can say to bring value and get referrals from people in your sphere of influence. First of all, here's sort of an aggressive approach. Hi, this is Jack. This is a business call. Do you have a quick minute for me? Do you know someone who'd like to buy or sell real estate in the next 30 days? Think of people in your own church or your work or your neighborhood. Who'd be the next person to move, to buy, to sell, etc.? Would you mind if I give them the call? And can I use your name? And lastly, by the way, have you thought of selling your home? Terrific. I'm going to be honest with you and say I've never actually used this dialogue. I think it is kind of strong, it's kind of aggressive, but a lot of people do use it and it works for them. Let's try some that are a little bit softer. And they begin with the premise of, if you were me. It always cracked me up when the beaver went to his dad, Ward, to ask him advice. You know, always be like, well, if you were me, what would you do in my situation? And I think you can carry that over into people in your luxury real estate sphere of influence. Let's see how that would work. Ask for advice. Hi, this is Jack. This is a business call. Do you have a minute for me? Could I ask you for some advice? You see, I just listed this great property at 127 Main Street. I'm real excited about this property. Would love to find a buyer. If you were me, how would you go about finding or marketing this property to find a buyer? Now, my experience has been that when you ask this question of people, they don't come back and say, well, I'd buy an ad in Golf Digest, or I'd buy an ad in Yachting Magazine. They typically come back with a name of somebody. So you're asking for advice. They get to be armchair realtors. They get to be vicarious realtors. It's a real blast for them. And when they do suggest a person, would you mind if I gave them a call? And can I use your name when I do? And lastly, suggest they come and view the property with you, not to buy it themselves, but just to be in a better position to give you marketing advice. Again, give them a chance to be armchair realtors, vicarious real estate professionals. Let them see the property with you, because you never know, when they see it in person, they might even have a stronger idea of a potential buyer for it. Another dialogue comes from my friend Michael Mayer of 7 Levels of Communication. And if you're wondering what to say to people when you meet them at a party or on the phone, or you just don't know what to say, these are very limited dialogues you can use that cause the person in your sphere, or who you've just met at a social gathering, to talk a lot. You get a lot of information. So, what is the greatest challenge you are facing in your business, your golf game, your personal life, whatever? What have you tried so far? And what are you going to do next? Simple questions, but they're all open-ended. You know, what? And people just talk and talk and talk. And as they talk through the answers to your questions, sometimes they get ideas for solutions to their greatest challenge, and they tie that solution with you, and they think you're a genius, and it's even better for building your sphere. So read the book, 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer. It's a great way to build up your sphere of influence business. Some of the ways, the last way to start and hold a conversation, if you're like at a social gathering, I've used this all the time, is the FORD method. F stands for family. How's your family? O stands for occupation, and what's going on at work. And that's when you can use that other dialogue we just talked about. What's the biggest challenge you're facing in your career right now? R stands for recreation. What do you do when you're not working? And D stands for dreams. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that I've never asked this question. I've never made it past R in 4 decades, but I use Ford all the time, but I've never made it to D. So there you go. Let me know if you make it to D. That'd be fun to hear about. Anyway, there's some dialogues you can use. People hate the word script, so I'm using the word dialogues. We use them anyway. Might as well have them organized and planned out in advance so it can be more effective. So, speaking of dialogues, you can have your own dialogue with me on the first Tuesday of every month with luxuryrealestateunplugged.com. Just check out the website, see what it looks like, and give it a try. It's the lowest price coaching you could ever imagine. Get your questions answered live on the first Tuesday of each and every month. Until next time, make it a great week.